Hello and welcome to my easy to understand guide to Carol Clover's theory about the final or last girl. Carol Clover came up with this theory in relation to horror movies, so this theory is very specifically focused on the horror movie genre. Because Clover's theory focuses on horror films, this video contains some graphic scenes from real horror movies. Please proceed with caution. The theory stems from her book Men, Women and Chainsaws, which is about gender in the modern horror film. So this is a good place to start if you want more information on this theory. Her theory is really evident in a lot of horror movies. Her theory basically says that in horror movies, there is one female protagonist that the film focuses on. The killer or killers in a horror movie often kill off all of her friends and family until there is one girl remaining. She is the last or the final girl in the story. In order to survive, this girl must persevere. She must be strong, both emotionally and physically. And, according to Clover, she must stay a virgin or she must stay chaste. Within horror movies, there's a bit of a common trope that if you are sexually active, you often get killed off quite early on in the storyline, whereas the lead character, the female, is often a virgin. Eventually, according to Clover's theory, this last girl will be the one to defeat the killer. She will be the one that has to kill him. Clover thinks that the last girl in a horror movie often has to take on more typically masculine characteristics in order to survive. So she often has a unisex name. She often dresses in a reasonably unisex way. And she has to take on masculine behaviours as well. So being quite strong, she has to end up wielding a weapon. And she normally has to get into some kind of physical altercation with the killer in order to survive. In fact, the last girl often has to kill this killer out of pure anger and vengeance at the end. So whereas a lot of media products often represent a real damsel in distress, Clover's idea is that whilst she may be victimised in the movie, this final girl eventually will become strong, powerful and dominant, and out of pure rage will end up killing the main antagonist in the film at the end. Clover also identified that most of these last females that she'd researched in films were mostly cis, white, straight and middle class. So that was my very simple, easy to understand guide to Carol Clover's theory about the last or the final girl in horror movies. Don't forget to check out my channel to get more simple guides to media studies theories and also to keywords and set texts.